Hi everybody, thank you for joining us here at SheFab, a joint enterprise of SheFanPro and Fintech and Blockchain Association. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you all today, and thank you to everybody that's watching us back on the replay. Well, you know, it's that time of year. It's certainly very cold where I am here in the UK. We're nearing the end of the year, and what a great year it's been, particularly to be surrounded by such fabulous people here at SheFab. So I'm your president, Shelley Fantastic, and here on the call today we have Sumia and Joanne, which are fabulous human beings and part of the SheFab board. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Sumia here, please, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and also sharing with our audience a little bit more about what we're going to be talking about today, and of course our fabulous guest speakers. So over to you, Sumia. I'm super excited.
Thank you a lot, Ms. Shelley. Hello, everyone. I'm Soumya, Joint Secretary of SheFab. So I would like to quote, "Better to teach a man to fish than to give a man a fish." So we all know this quote very well. And this is the real motto of SheFab, and as well as Ms. Linda and Mr. Guillermo, who are our guest speakers today. And that's the reason we are happy to invite them to today's seminar. So first, let's introduce Ms. Linda. Ms. Linda is a wonderful lady. She's a blockchain entrepreneur, educator, and open internet advocate. We always come across Linda's posts over LinkedIn. She's very active. And apart from that, she is founder of Techonomy Africa, and she's also head of global operations Zenith Chain. Apart from that, she does great work. Like, she's a mentor at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. She's advisory board member, African Women in Crypto, founding chief operating officer, Agrific, and etc. So, and she's such a great lady. We always learn a lot from her, that too on a daily basis. And I'm happy to welcome Miss Linda, and over to Miss Linda.
Thank you very much, Sami. It's also a pleasure to be here. I like to say that I relish, in opportunities to speak on blockchain and, the pain points that it addresses. And interestingly, today I'll be talking about blockchain beyond cryptocurrency, because, when you talk about blockchain, most people tend to partner that with cryptocurrency, and that is not the case. So we would have to have that conversation. I think it is something that needs to be, had and expanded on. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, Sami.
That's fabulous, Linda, and it's so amazing to have you here. I just really looking forward to hearing all your valuable insights and everything. And I think you're quite right. It's something that needs raising and needs raising that awareness really around, isn't it? So and what better person to facilitate that than your good self. Seen a lot of your fantastic content all over LinkedIn and everywhere else, and it's just an incredible honor and privilege to have you here with us. And I'm certainly looking forward to catching up with you as well in the near future, perhaps in the early new year as well, to explore some discussions and what have you moving forward. But certainly for now, please go ahead and share your viewpoints on this, and let's help people out here.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Shelley. I also look forward to or eagerly read your contents when you have them on LinkedIn. And when I had the opportunity to speak here, I felt like it's an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much. Today I'll be talking about blockchain beyond cryptocurrencies, just because as an educator, I am really passionate about properly beyond all the hype that we see. I know that, we are familiar with trends, and there's been there was a beautiful season, or we are in the winter season. All the monetary markets are down, stock is down, equities, everything really down, probably maybe not real estate. And then crypto also was really affected, and beyond the winter season, we also had the bloodbath, that is FTX, and all the how do I put it now, all the unveiling reports. And we are keen on it and eyes on the news. But as much as, that side of crypto, which I think is a vertical, is, having as much backlash as we see right now on the internet, I also think it's a good thing. One would be that, we're talking about crypto for quite a bit. Crypto has been around for some time now, and then there's talks around regulations, and then talks around, consumer protection, right? Which I think is one of the biggest bins. Yeah, and I think that, I'm very pro-regulation. I think that regulations should be had. However, I do think that we would not be very quick to discard blockchain because, one vertical is experiencing a downtime right now. There are many, macro elements on the backdrop. We do know that, but we also know that beyond crypto, there are a lot of pain points that blockchain is addressing, right? And I do think that blockchain application goes far beyond, Bitcoin. It goes far beyond cryptocurrencies. I live in Nigeria, and Nigeria is in a continent called Africa. We like to call ourselves the giant of Africa, but I would say that Nigeria is riddled with a whole lot of pain points, right? I'm going to just talk about my foray into blockchain before I now start to dissect. So I come to you with over, short of 2 decades, 2 decades of experience working in diverse environments. And some time ago, I joined a startup, and I was, mandated to, as a business leader, going through the ranks, you would need to find efficient ways to carry out your business. At that time, I was working in the agricultural technology space, and I was leading a vertical. There was a pain point that I needed to address very quickly. One would be that there were a lot of moving parts in the business that I was kind of scaling, and, so much human elements. And I was thinking, we are wasting time, we are wasting resources, human resources, we are wasting capital, but precious time is going, right? And then, I cannot really, because okay, at that time we had to liaise between smallholder farmers and just, link them to premium markets. And there are a lot of human beings along that, value chain. And there are a lot of traditional contracts are along that value chain. And what I essentially was charged to do was to reduce downtime on, the back and forth that had to do with traditional contracts. And I stumbled upon smart contracts. And, it piqued my interest because smart contract was a new way to do things digitally, eliminating all the human elements, and that, contracts are triggered just by a default. I really don't need to see you in court. We just need to program a few codes and everything is fine. And then I did use smart contract to, fix a lot of market frictions in my business. And then something happened before we founded, it was pivotal and a defining moment for us in founding Tech Economy Africa. In Nigeria, we had a protest sometime around October 2020. And, at that time, the youths were kind of, how would I put it now? They were protesting against bad governance, right? There was police brutality and there was bad governance. And, it was just time for somebody to say something. And then the youth took it upon themselves. And then there was a peaceful protest. And, government for what it is and being what it is, respect to the government, but being what it is, they wanted to kind of, quieting that protest a bit, and in a bit to do so, they froze the accounts of the conveners. So there was no funds for people on the protest ground to actually, convey their messages, even if it was peacefully. It could be through social media, it could be anything. And, for the very first time, beyond my experience in smart contracts, I did see cryptocurrency play a huge role, right? They were quick to swap to crypto, and transaction happened. And right there on the protest ground, a lot of conversations were had around Bitcoin, Ethereum. However, I did notice that there was a lot of product gap, knowledge gap, maybe let me call it knowledge gap. And that was what led founding Tech Economy Africa. Now, our founding Tech Economy Africa was to close the knowledge gap. One would be that crypto is maybe 10% the use case in blockchain. And then there are other verticals that are, very crucial to fixing market frictions here in Africa. One would be a market friction like payments. Payment is a problem. I'm not even talking about international or cross-border payments here. I'm talking about payments even here in the country, locally, interbank transactions. Sometimes you transfer funds and 30 minutes down the line, 1 hour, 2 hours, 24 hours down the line, you are not getting that funds. You are being charged for those funds. Exorbitant fees are charged. So I would say that the crypto is not just crypto now, blockchain, crypto being a vertical of blockchain, and blockchain being what it is fixing and correcting that market friction. And then that is payment. Next year, Nigeria would be experiencing or would be deciding who leads us for the next 4 years. And sometimes it's beyond 4 years. Now we have 4 years and then we have 4 years, 8 years, because I mean, it's almost standard that, the president comes in and then he does 4 years and then, there is, he does another 4 years. And if you feel the pulse on social media, you would find that there's a preferred candidate. Yeah, and there's a preferred candidate, not because we really understand the merits for what it is beyond what is presented on social media or what is presented, what the media is showing us. It's just because we've had enough, yeah? And we've had enough from this regime, this party, that party, and would like to see a change. And I think that one of the factors that would make people tilt towards this candidate would be that we don't know this candidate, but he has done well in this sector, and he has done well in this sector. And we think that if he comes in, he would kind of, fix up Nigeria. Nigeria had a long list of problems, we know this, but can this candidate really fix up Nigeria? That is left to be, we don't know that. However, if we also trusted, how would I put it now, our voting systems, I think maybe the narrative might be different, yeah? Because beyond, standing behind one man and saying it has to be this man because maybe we trust this man and that is the only thing before us that we see and trust, we can also trust our systems, right? This election is not going to be rigged. A lot of youths, a lot of millennials, right, do not go out to vote. Why? Because their votes don't count at the end of the day. You see a lot of rigging happen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then I do think that if blockchain as a tool or as a service played an integral role, or we leveraged on the possibilities of blockchain beyond decentralization, if we leveraged on the transparency that is blockchain, I do think that maybe the situation will be different. And then, there are other use cases like data management, right? I don't think it's a Nigerian thing. I do think that it's an African thing. There is no data for anything. You cannot just lay your hand on structured data for these data. And I know this because while scaling out, most of the portfolios I did scale out at FarmCrowdy, I've had to rely heavily on data. And then in my search for data, I find that there's really no data. It's scattered everywhere. But if we had a blockchain, right, infrastructure where everybody can actually tune in and just, have that. And blockchain also solves that problem. You get what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, I see all the backlash around crypto, and I see that a lot of times that it is misjudged to say, oh, crypto, because crypto is blockchain is bad. I think that is a misunderstanding. I think that a lot of education, right, needs to, be had around that. Two bans or two, how would I put it now, critical factors that I see that it's kind of impeding the kind of adoption that we need to see around blockchain and crypto would be, one, consumer protection. That's, part around regulation where, we really need to talk about frameworking this space. And who better framework this space if not actually private stakeholders? I've come to discussions where I kind of hear people say, but is the central bank enough to framework, what's it called, the crypto space? The fiscal policies as we have it, how efficient are they? And then why are we now bringing them in to structure out, what's it called, the crypto space? But I would say that as much as, you would want to rely on people who had frameworked a certain kind of regulations, I also do think that as, industry leaders, as ecosystem practitioners, we might need to sit down first and start to, drop a blueprint of what we need addressed. And one thing that we really need addressed would be consumer protection. Another would be that on the back of FTX and on the back of, crypto is a scam just because one man maybe didn't handle his books right, or maybe didn't pay attention to what needed to be. A lot of CEOs are generalists. I keep saying this. A lot of CEOs are generalists, and that is why most businesses fail. You would, as a business leader, need to look at areas where you bring in experts to scale, right? And that is why you see a lot of, also, we are going to be declaring bankruptcy because a lot of spends didn't go where they were supposed to go. What am I trying to say? We are not going to be quick to rule out the crypto industry simply because one man didn't model his book right. However, people are saying, let's talk about consumer protection. Yeah. And there's also, on the back of, the backlash of FTX, people are also saying, what can we also do to mitigate this kind of risks? One would be the whole safe you thing, right? But I keep asking myself, and I ask a lot of industry leaders, and I ask a lot of, enthusiasts, and like you said, I share a lot of opinion on LinkedIn. What would be, is that enough really? How soon before, people kind of find backdoors around this? We really need to have conversations around regulations, and that is for crypto. Now, we really need to have conversations around equitizing the blockchain space. And one thing that needs to play well would be education from the grassroots. What's to say that we shouldn't, have part of the curriculum of the primary, secondary school, the primary schools or the secondary schools, starting from the very grassroots? What's to say that we cannot have, blockchain taught in schools? Why are we not saying, why are we not having that conversation? I think I have liaised with we have a pilot program with, some persons in the Republic of Benin, where we're trying to scale blockchain education and possibly have that integrated into their curriculum. And, we're having it. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell to government educators or government officials who are regulating the education, side of things. It's a hard sell because they do not understand it. If they do not understand it, and we are saying that blockchain is the future, you see that there's a big disconnect, right? They need to understand it, and then they need to give permission for people who are ready to take it to children in schools. The universities, as I know them, the curriculum, yes, we have some relevant courses here, but a lot of graduates are going to be out with, no skill sets to take on the jobs of the future, right? And blockchain is going to play an integral role. Not to think of much of our time today, I'm just saying that we must look at blockchain beyond crypto. We must look at equitizing the space, and we must leverage education and, policies, regulatory policies to kind of sanitize and equitize that space. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Yeah, and absolutely agree with you there. Brilliant presentation there, Linda. Thank you so very much. And it's so important, isn't it? It's because, it's about empowering the future, isn't it? The future generations as well, and like you said, mitigating risk and everything else. So it's vitally important. And to distinguish, like you said, between the two as well is really important as well, because I think there is still, quite a lot of confusion, because it is such early days as well still, isn't it? Does anybody have any questions for the lovely Linda before we move on? I don't want to dominate, but does anybody have any questions?
I have a commentary. Yes, I think that we have the same vision, and I prepared a small presentation that I will share it. So it will probably shed some light too to the people that will watch this as a recording. I hope that will help, and thank you for that great presentation. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, it's absolutely brilliant. And it's been an absolute pleasure listening to those valuable insights, Linda, today. It really, really has. And I can see your passion coming through as well. And it's beautiful to see. It really is. So yeah. Okay. So Soumya, do you want to go ahead and introduce our next fabulous panelist, and then we can have a bit of a recoup afterwards, and I'll have a bit of a chit chat. And if you need me to share the screen, I can do that as well for you.
Thank you, Ms. Linda, and thank you, Ms. Shelley.
You're welcome.
My pleasure to welcome Ms. Linda and now Mr. Guillermo. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Guillermo. So we know, we've always heard jack of all and master of none. But there's one person who's jack of all and master of many. He's Mr. Guillermo Cid. He's into so many things. He's into blockchain technologies, he's into cryptography, secure and immutable platforms for improvement and applications in earth science. He's a world-class scientist with high knowledge of disaster risk science, climate change, adaptation, etc. He's Chief Information Officer of Quantum Vision LLC. Then he's President, Fintech and Blockchain Association, FAB. He was an advanced consultant. He was a branch head of Nexus, ambassador of Nexus, Embassy US, and into so many things. So a person with wide experience and his knowledge dispersed or spread over multiple fields. So please welcome Mr. Guillermo, and his topic is blockchain technology, hype versus adoption.
Thank you, Samia. Thank you, everyone. It's good to be here. Yeah, I have been in several stuff. I'm not that old, so I started young. I started building my first code when I was 12. I was playing a game called Duke Nukem. And then I started to create some levels to play because I wasn't I was a lone child, so I didn't have any siblings, anything. But I found in the computers and in knowledge and in learning a way of improving myself, and then trying to do this with other people and communities. And I studied in Chile in geography, then I studied in Australia earth science, PhD, etc. And then I realized that there was a huge gap in knowledge first, and also in the transparency of the knowledge, because here, at least in Chile, we have data. The data is not accurate, but we have data. And but we had a problem that data can be manipulated, and that has been happening in the past. So after I came back from Australia, 2017, I realized that I needed something. I was looking for some technology, and then I realized about blockchain, and I started working in this field first as a just participating in a community called Nexus Blockchain from US. Then started just working for free and trying to understand and trying to learn. Then after many years, I got in a position when I was voted for this position. I started working, like, you know, everyone here in blockchain and also crypto work 24/7 probably. It's a very stressful but rewarding job. I think that because we are in the early stages, it will be, it has a lot of potential, and I want to share a bit of this in this small presentation. If you can give me, yeah, I have here I will share it and will try to explain. Can you see it? It's okay, the size?
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay. So I will start 21 slide, but the last is the thank you. So 20, and I will go swiftly. And then I will talk about my personal experience too, because I think that it's very important for people that will connect to in the future. So my name is Guillermo Cid. I am from Chile. My mom's from Spain. I call myself a learner. I think that I am not a master yet, but thank you for the presentation. I think that I am a good learner, and I try to teach whatever I have learned. And I try to also counsel people, saying regarding my experience, I think that this maybe is not the best choice. So I tried. So I am a blockchain lead. I am a chief information officer in Quantum Vision LLC. And I have other things that you can see in my profile. Then I will share the presentation in the future, so you will be able to see it. So, hype versus adoption, a blockchain dilemma. There are so many words for hype, and I will explain several of them: hype, hopium, chilling, etc. This come from more about crypto environment, but finally one of the basic technology that propels crypto is blockchain. So usually, as people said, they usually think that they are completely linked, and they are at some level, but crypto is just a part of the blockchain. Blockchain can do much more. So as I say here, it's similar but not quite. So what is blockchain? I put it here like it's the panacea, like some kind of you can say a powerful force of nature that finally got converted into mathematics, and then we can use it to improve technologies that already exist. But what are the things that blockchain provides? Blockchain provides a tamper-proof ledger that it should and could not be hacked or cracked, or will take several years because of the cryptography that is behind it. It needs to be decentralized in concept. At the moment, we don't have truly decentralized because there are problems with the scalability. There are some, but we are in the early stages, so it's fine. We are in the process of improving and developing tamper-proof ledger. Transparent transactions is very important. When you have transparent transactions, you can have many use cases. For example, notaries, for example, records, health records, etc. And also, this is more like a trustless but secure trading. Trustless, it will be in the future, I think. At the moment, we're still entitled to have a central management, like central exchanges, for the fiasco of FTX, etc. this year, and you have also Terra Luna and many other examples. But if you want many examples, go and Google blockchain crypto fever 2017, and then you will get thousands. But what the big problem is, does it scale? I can say that yes, at some level, but we are not really there at the moment. There are other technologies that are still have an edge on this, but this is because blockchain is very novel. What are the main characteristics? Blockchain is based on cryptography, but how it works? Blockchain is a block, contains a lot of information, but the most important information are the transactions. These transactions are transmutated, are converted into hashes. That is a number and words and alphanumeric that is very huge, but is unique. And usually when you have a blockchain network, this hash will have always precedence from 1 to n, so 1, 2, 3, etc. So is the basic component is the transaction, and here usually, at least in the digital world, we have Bitcoin with the proof of work. That is one of the protocols, and they have the UTXO, that is a model based on very high level mathematics that prove that there is a connection, a block connection between the block before and the block that is coming next, and each block is indexed with the other blocks. So that's the whole deal. That is blockchain. So the block is composed by a block header that has certain amounts of transactions. There are, for example, 1 megabyte. Others have 2. We have a hash pointer. This is the border part. The index is the block that contains the hash values that are associated with the previous block. So if you're trying to hack a blockchain and you try to set some false information, it will be analyzed by the different nodes, and they will go to that block and they will see, oh, okay, this block doesn't have the same signature, so it's probably not really a block, so it goes rejected by the network. So that's the important part of having many people and many computers and nodes, because the more nodes you have, the most difficult that it makes to false information. And finally, and I will just speak about this because Merkle tree is not easy to explain, is a hash tree that is like an index, and I will show it here. When you have the block from 0 to 3, for example, here, and let's take block 1. We have the transaction data, and each hash is analyzed with the transactions, and finally, if they are correlated, then this block is accepted. If they are not related, it's not accepted and it's rejected. And because you have redundancy, it usually some node can go down, or maybe can, yes, because you are using hard disks and other storage information, it can get corrupted, but it is very difficult to get corrupted all the nodes. You need to do a very high level attack and very expensive attack. So economically, it's not really rewarding. So that's one of the ways, because it's very difficult to hack a blockchain. Okay, but I am speaking about the optional hype, of course. But I needed to show and explain a little of the phenomenon, but now I'm going directly to it. So, okay, these are words that are invented from the social community, social boards, etc. And we have hopium, we have hype, and we have chili. And in this case, it's almost the same with the different names. Finally, sides of the same coin. What is hopium? It's a formula of words hope and opium, and it's describing a fictional drug that help one stay hopeful in time of stress. Sorry, my dog. And there are in crypto, especially in crypto, you have a lot of stress all the time, and this was used in the stock markets before, but finally when crypto become a thing, like in 2016 and 2017, then it came part of the memes and graphics and all that stuff. So what is really, at least in my words, is like a fool's gold sentiment that relies on the lack of real usability. It's just words, it's just selling smoke, nothing else. So you have this example of hopium. For example, people that was trying to gain some but putting a selling point, and then they always got wrong. So hoping for 3K, but Bitcoin was 6K, etc. And then you have the other side of the coin that is hopium, but giving you false hope that everything will go okay with your project, that it has no real usability. I think that one of the most important part to create adoption is to have usability. If you don't have usability, real usability, you cannot do anything. Just just promising. You know, what is hype? Also known as, do you remember 2017? This is for the people that has been in this environment for several years. I was in there. I was a rookie, and it was so stressful. In my personal experience, I have there was a exchange because I was living in Australia. That so there was a change in New Zealand called Cryptopia that was hacked, and then I lost all my assets in there in 2017, and that was my first experience with this. So when we talk about hype, we are talking about a narrative in which a token cloner or supposed blockchain creator claims about technology without having a true solution. One of the great examples is not a blockchain, but it's a real high level example because it has been in the news lately, is the case of Theranos. Theranos was a startup that promised to just in a very small device to have almost all the diagnostic that you needed, and then in the future it will give you also the medication. But Theranos it didn't had the technology yet, and that was a huge problem because they started to lie, they started to claim and to start suing people that were inside before to stop this whole drama. And this hype also has been happening in crypto several years. You know, I want to show some hype, also known as I will not say it, but it's not easy to find all the hype based coins and blockchain, but there are some examples. Doge. What was the real use case of Doge? It was a meme at first. So that's why I put in, is it still a hype coin? I don't know, because some people is giving Doge some usability, you know. So this is very difficult to say. But we have Electroneum, we have Verge, and we have this year Terra and Luna that were scams, and sadly many people lost their life and lost their saving, etc. So this has been going around and around for at least 5 years, you know. And I have an example that is called Coin for Idiots. This was someone from the UK that did a web page with showing a use case that is they have a white paper that they say that they are doing nothing, and if you buy this, it's because you are an idiot. But this was to show people that many people didn't just did their own research and also went in the hype train, we call them in crypto. He finally started to sell 21 million idiot coins, and finally he got it. But then the project was just to show to the different people and different organizations that it was very complex at the moment, you know. Adoption. If it works and is replicable, it can be adopted. Yes, we need templates, you know. Technologies work based on templates, on modules. If you have a template that works in a place that has the similar variables, for example, you have soil, you have water, you have sun, then you can say that you can replicate it, you know. And that's one of the things that we are working at the moment with Dr. Sindhu here in South America. And I think that we need to create this, and in the future we can use blockchain to improve it, you know. So adoption of technology is a consequence of having real world solutions for real life problems. You know, this is all about blockchain and not necessarily about crypto, but you can use tokens inside it to create ecosystems of, for example, ecosystem of green groups or food security, etc. It's different from hype because starting the design, testing, improvement is more similar to the scientific method instead of just saying I will do this and this will do that. In this case, it's not like that. This is based on evidence. It's based on a very strong research. It's based in mathematics, you know. And in general, because of the early stages we are living, there will be many potential projects that may be selected or adopted, but there is still much room to improve. So I think that there is a lot of potential. I think that's the word that I say, potential. Adoption is difficult. It's not easy because the technology is evolving each day. You know, technology is not yet there, so we can also don't say that we will solve all the problems in the world because it's not true, but we can solve several problems with different blockchains and with different systems based on blockchain. Blockchain at the moment is very good as a ledger. When you want to have the information and you want to have it completely secure, blockchain will be the and also transactions are working. So technology is not yet there for all the other stuff, but it will be in some years. Other problem, expectations may be too high. This is I am speaking for experience. You know, I dealt with many clients from when I was in Nexus and now that I have been with my own, doing my own thing too. I have been in this, and my clients usually, when I explain it, sometimes they just walk away because I told them, are you sure that you want this a blockchain as a solution? Because it's not necessarily solution at the moment, but also the performance. Performance is not the best yet. For example, the problem is with the databases. In general, almost all of the blockchain use Berkeley database it was not designed for blockchains. But there have been new improvements in blockchain and there are coming new solutions in databases. So I think that this will pass soon. Scalability is very, very, very important. You know, you have the example of Solana. Solana is really good in the way of it's designed, but it has a big problem. The problem is scalability. You need a huge amount of servers. You know, you don't have the optimization to run it in your home, for example. So at the moment you need to data center. And usually, even like with that huge, very expensive node, Solana gets down every 2 weeks or so, and then it comes up. So there are several things that it needs to be done yet, but the other thing is that it's not yet truly decentralized. Why? Because we need a very huge computing power, you know. So that makes it very difficult at the moment, but it will go there. I think that in less than 10 years, probably 5. And also when Linda was speaking, laws and regulations, of course, there are several stuff. So at the moment, many big institutions are researching, piloting, and developing crypto and blockchain. But I think that in the future, almost all of them will be in there because blockchain empowers and provides more power and traceability, etc. So adoption will happen. The blockchain is called the fourth industrial revolution, and after this technology is finally polished, it will be unstoppable. Blockchain will improve any kind of process that needs computation, verification, automation, etc. Blockchain will provide new possibilities and probably new discoveries in the next years or decades. Why I say this? Because at least myself, as someone that teach blockchain and I'm talking with universities thanks to FIB and EST. We are trying to create some education programs, and the final idea of this is to provide to students the knowledge, and then people has so much potential that they may create something more powerful. Even I don't know, I cannot imagine. And also this is very important. Blockchain may empower the communities of the world to self-govern and to evolve. You know, that's interesting. Okay, it will happen, but when and where? Blockchain technology has been around for more than 10 years, but in some regions it's just been getting noticed, you know. And it was a good when Lina was speaking about Nigeria, I was also thinking about my country, Chile, and in South America we have several developing economies, and crypto but blockchain will help us very much, because as I say here, the next places of blockchain emergence are situated in developing countries. I don't like to use the word, but just to people to understand, and in regions like Africa and South America. And here in these regions, there are problems that can already be solved: inflation, trustless voting, etc. For example, in Argentina, they have had a great level of inflation in the last 10 years, like 78 to over 100% each year. So at least in Argentina, 25% of the people already have some kind of crypto asset. So this shows that people has been living, and thanks to crypto in there. So it's very interesting. And blockchain is already happening, and it will keep synchronizing with more nodes. These nodes are the people. We are the nodes. The first node of the blockchain are ourselves, the humans. We are creating new clusters of blockchain empowers societies. Okay, that's personal experience, and I want to sum up. Blockchain technology is very powerful invention. The majority promises of crypto and some blockchains are not what they seem. You have still an ecosystem plague-ridden with chilling, hope, and hype. This year we have several examples. And I say always to my friends, people, and students to always do your own research and verify. Don't just believe anything, you need to verify. And finally, adoption will happen after the technology is polished. So that's what I can say.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much. That was really, really informative and interesting, and yeah, and I'm sure our audience today here, but also our audience watching back on the replay will find it of tremendous educational value as well. So it was really great that you did that sort of deeper dive into, you know, the myrtle trees and all these things. It was really really fabulous. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invitation. I think that it's important to understand. We need to understand it like basically, and then we can improve many things. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody have any questions or any feedback that they'd like to share?
Yes, I have feedback and vote of thanks to both of them. So first, I would like to thank Ms. Linda because what I've learned from her today, from her seminar and presentation, I've learned about uh, uh, smart contracts. I've learned about crypto, like that a blockchain is beyond crypto. Like, so she taught about smart contracts and crypto with Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then she taught about payments, consumer protection. She raised her voice regarding the same consumer protection. She taught us a lot about what's happening in Nigeria. Then not only that, she connected it with to the entire Africa and then to the globe. Then she spoke about the regulations, the industry leaders and the ecosystem leaders, what really need to be added. And she also taught about this education from grassroots levels. And she said it's very important that education should be at the grassroots levels, and then skills should be developed for future. And though there's a lot of disconnectivity, and she also questioned like why blockchain could not be taught at school. So there are so many things which she raised, and I know these are very few points compared to what she posts over LinkedIn. That's a huge information, and it's an updated information that we get on day-to-day basis, and we're really thankful for that everyday updates, because every day our knowledge is growing by what she's been posting. So it's a lot helpful to all of us. And next, I would like to thank Mr. Guillermo because it was a wonderful presentation. He spoke about blockchain technology, hype versus adoption. He spoke that blockchain is a panacea for today's world, and that people are not really understanding, or they need a lot of awareness regarding the same. And he spoke about hopium, he spoke about the hype, he spoke about Tenor's problem. He also taught us about the white paper, which really mentioned about I that saying that it's idiot coin and all, but which is not right, and they need to learn a lot about this. And he spoke about the adoption. He also taught that adaptation will happen, but when and where. He raised that question, and the difficulties for the same, and how to build an ecosystem, how to venture into other fields like food security and other segments. And he said that's also very important, not just knowing or learning, but you need to venture into different segments like food security or maybe like health sector, different sectors. That's what he said. And he also, and his ultimate statement that's great, which he said he uses for his students, that is, you personally go and do your research and then verify the facts, and that applies to all of us. And I would also like to say one more thing, that when we sow a seed in ground, so it takes a lot of time for us and for the seed to grow. We need to nourish it on a day-to-day basis. We need to provide a fencing so that it gets protection from the other herbivores or other people or other kids, so it's protected. So after years, lot of efforts, then it grows into a plant and then into a tree, and the tree becomes a magnanimous tree, a huge tree, and then everybody would enjoy the fruits, and those fruits will again will give rise to more seeds and more trees. So I think blockchain, it's right now at that seed level. And thank you for people like Linda and Guillermo and members of SheFab for nurturing it, for supporting it. And we believe that in future, it will be like we can see you as pioneers, like the protectors of crypto and blockchain. So that's from my end. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Soumya, for such an outstanding summary and conclusion there, and a beautiful analogy as well, with the planting of the seed and the plant, the tree, and everything else. I think it's amazing. And to our guest speakers, Linda and Guillermo, thank you so so much. It's just, I've really enjoyed today. I've really, and I've learned a lot, and I'm sure, our audience that will be watching back on the replay will also get a lot of value from today's session. Absolutely brilliantly done. It's been an honor and a privilege to have our guest speakers here today, sharing these valuable insights, and really touched upon some really critical points actually that definitely need further exploration and raising awareness of, really. So it's just been absolutely phenomenal, and it's been like I said, it's been an honor and a privilege, and thank you so very much, and I hope that you'll certainly come back and join us at future sessions as well, and share more valuable insights, because it's been a real pleasure today. It's been very informative, and the knowledge that you've been able to share with us and impart on us today has been outstanding. I know Joanne here has messaged in the chat as well. She's thanking everybody as well. So yeah, it's been really great. Has anybody got any closing words that they'd like to share before we wrap up?
So I'll just start this by saying we would need to prioritize. I don't know who is watching. I don't know who've been watching, but we need to prioritize blockchain education from the very grassroots, right? We need that conversations to be had. We need to start talking to educators about actually sanitizing, even from the side of the academics, right? Are we preparing our graduates for the jobs of the future? I really don't think so. AI is coming for most of these jobs. You would need to upskill in areas that are relevant, and blockchain is a relevant technology as we transition through and into the fourth industrial revolution. I do think that conversations like this should and must be had. Thank you so much, Shirley, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it needs to start, like you said, the grassroots as early as possible, and why that's not necessarily happening at the moment, I'm not entirely sure, but it needs to. Our young people, our future generations are really the people that are going to take it forward, aren't they, moving forward. And I think it's imperative that education is implemented, and from a very young age, but also the raising of awareness and how to manage the risks. And there's just so much, isn't there? And it's such a fast moving space, really. Sometimes it's difficult for the best of us to kind of keep up as well, isn't it? Because it's just so much. It's a 24-hour job, it's just and then time management becomes a thing, doesn't it? Because obviously for our well-being and for us to be truly empowered, we need to also take some time for ourselves and our families, and some rest time. So it's exciting. There's lots to learn. There's lots of risks. And like you said, education is absolutely imperative. So thank you. And
may I have a word? May I have a word before I?
Yeah, of course, please.
I agree. These exceptional people here and other people that is working in the streets and with people and with kids. I think that we need to focus on kids, and also it will be. I want to finish my participation with this question, and I want people that will watch this in the future to see if the question is already answered. I would like to see if, because I at least in the things that I am participating and the knowledge I have been in different other countries, looks like blockchain is empowering the communities and the countries that are more in need, and it will do it in the future. So this question is for everyone. Did blockchain revolution came finally from the small and developing countries? Let's see.
Wow, very thought-provoking, and thank you for popping that in there towards the end. I really appreciate that. And as I said, it's been a real honor and privilege to actually have you here today, both of you, our guest speakers, and also get to know you a little bit better as well. It's been really great, and I'm really looking forward to future conversations you know, next year, you know, and doing some work together, because you know, you're great human beings. You've got a great passion, both of you. And you know, the fact that you've been here today and shared that with us and with our audience is, you know, is a blessing. So thank you very, very much. And on that note, if everybody's happy, we can close. And all I can say is thank you so much for being here, absolutely everybody. Look forward to seeing you all again at the next seminar. And again, huge kudos and thanks to our two guest speakers today, who have absolutely been fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And also to Sumia as well, who's just been a fabulous master of ceremonies, and provided us with a really insightful summary and conclusion, which is very detailed and thought-provoking. So thank you, Sumia, for that as well. You know, we couldn't do without you. So thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so stay blessed, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and you know, do follow us at SheFab. Do like, follow us, and oh, also, where if anybody wants to reach out to you guys, our panel, where would they do that? How can they connect with you?
You can connect with me in LinkedIn, especially, and I will send the presentation to Samia, and there is my link. So there you can reach me.
Perfect, thank you. And Linda?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure, you cracked up a bit. I'm not sure I got it. What is it you're asking?
Yeah, how do people reach out or connect with you if they want,
Oh,
to
I'm
learn
very
more?
active I'm very active on LinkedIn. If you send me a DM, you definitely get an answer within 5-10 minutes. So yes, LinkedIn would be your go-to place.
Fabulous, fabulous. That's great. Thank you for sharing that, because I know our audience will want to be reaching out to you and get more in-depth, you know, discussions and what have you, because you've just both been so amazing. It's been a real honor. So as I said, I'm going to love you and leave you right there. Stay blessed, and thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.